Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here and welcome to Let's Play Stellaris Ancient Relics. Much like our Total War episode that we did, our Total War episode that we did, we're going to be doing an edited video here, so it's going to be a little bit less filler and a lot more killer. So I'm going to go ahead and create a species and then show it off to you guys. Alrighty, so here we have the Birdman Consortium. The Birdman Consortium is a... they're very well versed in bird law, I will say that. They are what is the word? Avians. Their traits are natural engineers for extra engineering research. They are non-adaptive, we'll talk about why in a moment. They're conservationists, so they use less consumer goods. They're communal, so they lose less housing. They're traditional, so they give more unity. And they live on Gaia world. So that is why we took the non-adaptive, because I really wanted to reinforce the theme that these guys were born on this like perfect world and they basically shun and disdain all other worlds and they don't want to live on them and they won't live on them. And so that's the idea and the theming behind these guys, and they're natural engineers because they're seeking to learn how to build new worlds for themselves. So this will be a bit of a one-planet challenge. So our government and ethics, we will be going with authoritarian, fanatic materialists, and a technocracy, which will give us some administrator jobs with side director researchers, which also produce unity. We're also going to be life-seeded, as I already talked about, which gives us rare planetary features and a large 25-size Gaia world. There's also quite a few other, little tidbits in here about certain things. But that is it. That is the race. So let's go ahead and jump into a game. Alright, so for this game, we're going to be doing a large world with default settings. I will go ahead and bump the difficulty up to Commodore. I'm not very good at this game, but we'll go ahead and play on a slightly higher difficulty anyway. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. These are all the settings if you want to have a look at them. And I'll see you guys when we get started. Alrighty, so the very first things that we are doing is we are building a new science ship. We have sent our construction ship out to get these minerals, and we're also sending our science ship out to go exploring. I'll check back in with you guys when something interesting happens. In terms of technology, we're obviously going to go ahead and just pick up whatever gives us research, because we are trying our best to go really, really, really hard into technology this game. And so here we have our very second, not a very first, but the first one that we built ourselves, our second science ship ready. So I'm going to have to sell off some resources here in order to have enough to be able to actually get a hold of that guy. So we'll sell some consumer goods and some food, and then very quickly recruit ourselves a great scientist, not a great scientist, playing a little bit too much Civ here. I'm going to recruit the young guy so that he is around longer and can actually level up, and I'll send him out to do a little bit of exploration. And here we have discovered our very, very first anomaly. We may not be alone out here. We'll get a bunch of society research. I am not going to complete this anomaly right now. It's a little bit too high level and it would take a little bit too long. So I'll go ahead and leave that be for now, but we will come back to that one at a later date. Ooh, we have a contact report. While far from intelligent, there is life out there. So we have actually found some simple forms of life. Exciting. And we have fully surveyed our very first system of Till, which sadly only had 5 energy credits in it, but we will go out and explore this rather black hole-y kind of looking area over here. And so I sold a few things in my civilization in order to get a few more minerals, because I would like to immediately get to work on a research lab, because we want lots and lots of science, because it gives us lots of tech points, and it also gives us a smidge of unity, and the hope is that we can research enough to be able to overcome any tech penalties and be able to rapidly skyrocket through the tech tree. We've also just finished surveying the CAB-G system over here, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can't keep exploring. I'm going to be building another science ship to go ahead and clean out this area. So for now, I'll go ahead and explore the Great Dark Beyond with this science ship. Aha! Over here in the Screeching Abyss, we have discovered a strategic resource. We have found dark matter, which will be exciting in order for us to exploit at a later date. And at long last, we have finished building up our capital system, so it's time to go ahead and maybe build up another system. Energy is actually usually something I'm pretty lacking in the early game, so I'm going to go ahead and set up a starbase in Till. We also just got ourselves another science ship. I'm going to go ahead and recruit the guy who has an extra lifespan so that he will be around longer in order to do more anomaly research and all that good stuff. Get plenty of levels on him and see if we can't get good value out of him. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we have our very first anomaly point on the table. We are going to, of course, be going for discovery so that we get that tasty anomaly research speed, which will mean that our scientists are less bogged down when they're exploring. And here we have it, we have claimed our very first star system. Well, I guess technically it's our second if you count the original one, but we're going to go ahead and build some mining stations in here in order to bring up our energy income. Hey! We have just finished building the research station on our capital planet, as well as the scientist Claws of Ivory has leveled up. That's really, really nice. So now we have extra people working in the scientific job. It does use up some of our consumer goods, but more importantly, it means that our scientific advancement rate has increased significantly. So that's pretty exciting to me. And it looks like we have fully built out the system of Till. So I'm going to head over to Cabji because that's looking like it's going to be linking us up to Zom, which seems to have a lot of resources in it that we can take advantage of. It also has a decent amount of energy in here. Not a huge amount, but it also has a planet and some anomalies that we might be able to take advantage of, again, at a later date. Looks like our capital has a new building available as well, and I'm not sure what we should go for. Perhaps we could do another research lab. Why? Don't stop me if I do. We just want lots and lots of research. And here we are, we have discovered the Voltom Star Assembly. This is a precursor event train and we managed to get our hands on some minor artifacts. Which means if we head our way over to the Tradition and Relics area, we can actually sell these to private collectors in order to garner a little bit of cash that we can use to retool our economy for anything that we want to do in the future. And here we have it, a bunch of our scientists have leveled up, and also we have access to another Unity point. We're going to be plugging this one into Discovery again. This will increase the survey speed of our crafts, which will again help us in our exploration endeavors, because we do have 3 science ships which are costing us quite a bit of energy, but again, hoping that they pay off in the form of finding lots of anomalies and lots of places to colonize. Oh, and before I even finish talking, it looks like we just picked up our very first technology, which will give us a boost to engineering from researchers. So I think the next thing that we are going to pick up is the coil gun. That's a relatively cheap technology that will increase the combat capabilities of our craft. So I'll see you guys once we maybe find something else interesting to do. And here we have now also completed our society research technology, and we are going to go ahead and pick up pop growth speed. That's going to help us get a higher population on our capital, which will in the end result in us getting more buildings. We also finished our 3rd research lab on the capital, so now we are truly cranking out the research on here, which is really, really great. It is using up a lot of our consumer goods, but I think we'll probably stay at 3 research labs here for a while. I might pick up some other stuff to keep this population happy and churning along. Oh my goodness, and I accidentally closed out the pop-up, but we have found our very first archaeological dig site, so I'm going to want to expand in that direction and hopefully see if we can't go ahead and dig that up. This is the moon bump. I've never seen this one before. In fact, I've only seen a couple of them when I was doing a test game, but yeah, let's keep going. And we have also now just finished our physics research, so we'll go ahead and pick up a new technology, and I think we will go for the energy credits from technicians. We are currently suffering a little bit of a deficit, so that seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do. And it looks like we have finally colonized Zom. I'm going to take a moment here to build all these mining stations, and then we'll go over here and maybe start digging up this archaeological site. And it looks like we found our very first anomaly that we should be able to research in a reasonable amount of time. Let's go ahead and get that done and see what it has in store for us. Hey, looks like we found a solar sailor, which is going to give us a handful of engineering research. Not an amazing amount, but it's about 3 months worth of research, so I'll take what I can get. And it looks like we now have our 3rd Unity point. Now, I don't have a whole lot of research stations, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that one, but I will grab this for the research alternatives, which will make it easier to navigate our way through the tech tree. And here we have it. We have claimed this system with the archaeological site. I'm not going to go ahead and dig it up just yet. This guy looks like he can continue exploring down here, and this looks like a dead end, so I do want to make sure that I have a good idea of what's down here before I go ahead and pick this up. And we have now finished genome mapping, which gives us a plus 10% pop growth speed, which is very nice because that means our population grows 10% faster. Who would have thought it? In terms of the next thing that we're going to go pick up, I think we will pick up the extra monthly unity, which will unlock some edicts. More importantly, I'm pretty sure planetary unification leads to some pretty important social technologies. And we just finished researching the coil gun, so we're going to go ahead and start a new research, and I think we want to get powered exoskeletons because I believe this leads to being able to build robot pops. And here I have designed us a new Corvette design. This is the Interceptor class Corvette. It has a small coil gun, a nuclear missile, regular old stuff, 2 armor and 1 shield. And my logic here is that the nuclear missiles will punch past the shield and do damage to the armor. And then by the time that the small coil guns have finished doing damage to the shield, the armor will already be gone thanks to the nuclear missiles, and they'll both go directly to damaging hull. That's kind of the logic behind this design. I don't know if it's any good, but it's the one that I like to use, so that's what we are going to do in this campaign. And it looks like we've also just finished researching energy credits from technicians, which is helping out our economy a little bit. I do have an automatic trade set up because I have a lot of minerals, and I figure it's a good idea to go ahead and transmute them into some other stuff. Ooh, I actually do really like the idea of getting extra survey speed. Now, I would get research station output, but I actually haven't really run into a whole lot of research stations. Most of my most of my stations are actually mining stations. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up automated exploration protocols, which will not only give me access to automatic exploration, but it'll also speed up my current exploration, which I'm pretty happy about. Alright, we just completed an anomaly over here and found some alien logs. Let's go ahead and investigate them. We have yet another Unity point. We're going to go ahead and plug this into Polytechnic Education, which is going to increase the amount of experience our leaders gain and also increase their level cap. That's going to be pretty nice for leveling up these scientists so they can do more on the field in terms of anomaly research and archaeology. Ooh, so we have found the Rubricator, or at least we found an analysis of the ship logs revealed the crew met its demise when trying to retrieve an irreplicable alien artifact called the Rubricator. This is a very interesting site. I believe an archaeological site will appear. Let me double check here. I think I've done this one before. It is in the situation log, the Rubricator. And the system that it is in is over here, which was an unknown system previously. So let's go ahead and explore that and see what secrets it holds for us. Alrighty, looks like we found a kleptomaniac rats archaeological site at Fautera 3. Let's go ahead and start digging and see what happens over here. Oh, this is a colonizable world. It's actually 70%. Oh my god, I think we're going to go ahead and colonize this planet and see what happens. And we've now finished researching powered exoskeletons, so we should be able to jump in and start assembling some robot workers in about 40 months, which is, not exactly a stone's throw away, but not exactly too far away either. And we've also finished planetary unification, which will give us monthly Unity +2. Let's go ahead and check out what we might research next. Ooh, I like the idea of getting leader costs. I think food from farmers is nice because it gives me another resource that I can always sell off in a pinch in order to get some energy, in order to transmute it into other resources. So we have finished the exploration of Fautera 3, and I'm going to have to tell you guys the truth. I actually know what happens when you dig up this kleptomaniac rat archaeological dig site. So with that forearmed knowledge, because in my test game I actually came up against this exact event, I'm not going to dig it up because I know that it makes a big giant dragon appear and make this system uninhabitable. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to colonize this planet and then dig this up later when I have the fleet to destroy it. It's a little bit, I guess you could say that is sort of abusing my foreknowledge, but you know what, man? You can't stop me. And we've also finished just researching automated exploration protocols. That's very nice. Let's go ahead and have a look at what we might research next. I'm going to go ahead and pick up administrative AI for the extra 5% research speed. It also might lead to getting better robots, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. And now that we own the Fautera system, we're going to go ahead and colonize it. So let's colonize this planet with the Birdman. It's only a 70% habitability, but 70% is still pretty damn good, considering I wasn't actually planning on having a colony until the very late game when I was able to start building habitats and stuff like that. So I'm actually quite happy to get an early second colony. Ooh, and it looks like we actually also picked up another discovery thing. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Faith in Science, which should lower the amount of consumer goods that our scientists use, which means that we'll save a little bit in the long run. And I actually decided to go ahead and get myself one more scientist here. I'm going to go ahead and take another resilient guy so that he's around longer, because there's a whole branch over here that I'm not having a chance to explore, and I just don't have enough science ships. Besides, I went with Discovery, right? So I feel like science ships is the right move to go. I kind of wish Discovery would give you more buffs to your science ships, like maybe science ships move faster and they cost less upkeep, that kind of a thing. That would be pretty cool to me. Oh, and while I'm talking here, we discovered some volatile motes. Very, very cool. Although they are all the way over here, so it might be hard to get them. And here we have it, we have picked up extra food from farmers. That's going to be nice in the long run. It means we need less farmers total in order to manage our empire. Let's go ahead and pick up something else next. I could go ahead and get an off-world trading company. That's probably not a bad move, because I could build a trade route to pick up, for example, over here. But I think... yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up off-world trading company, maybe turn my alloys into some trade value. And now that I have picked up that trading port thing, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the starport in Terra up to a higher level so that I can start turning this into a trading port. Hey, and it looks like we just picked up robot assembly workers, so we can start building robots the second that this planet has 30 population. We'll be able to plug in a robot factory. I'm very excited about that, and I'm really looking forward to getting our robots up and running. Oh, and we're also going to go ahead here and pick up robo modding so that once I actually have the robots, in place, I'll be able to start upgrading them. Looks like we just finished the administrative AI research, so let's go ahead and pick up our next one. Colony development speed won't be really done in time because our colony ship is already on the way to Terra. So I might just go ahead and pick up, like, for example, basic combat roles, which will actually allow me to build slightly better ships, slightly more alloy efficient ships, which will be pretty nice. And there we go, boys and girls. Our very first colony has landed in Terra. A great day for the Birdman Consortium. It will be using up quite a bit of our energy credits as it's colonized, and it will take quite a few years. But I also, at the same time, go ahead and leave that be for now. Also, at the same time, I'm currently in the process of building up this trade hub so that when we research the off-world trading company, we will be in a position to take advantage of this extra trade value. It also looks like over here at the capital that we've run into a little bit of an unemployment problem. We've got one worker unemployed. We're also out of amenities, so I'm somewhat tempted to build a city district in order to get that extra +2 amenities. But I think we're going to go for a generator district because that is the one that I often have the most trouble with in the early game. I often have energy troubles, and I probably would have energy troubles if I wasn't automatically trading away minerals. And here we have it, guys. We have got our very first point of Ascension perk. We're going to go ahead and take database uplinks, which will increase research station output. Not a huge amount, but more importantly, it's going to give us a empire-wide plus 10% research speed. And now we can get to pick an Ascension perk. Now, normally in this position in my test game, I would have taken Technological Ascendancy here, but I'm actually a little bit tight on the influence. So I'm going to go ahead and take Interstellar Dominion so that we can expand a little bit more rapidly, because it looks like we don't have any really close neighbors so far, and I think it would be nice to expand out into the void. And it looks like we have had our very first encounter with some alien life forms. I'm going to go ahead and prioritize meeting them because I want the influence to be able to continue to expand rapidly. It will take 7 months of our society research, which will in fact slow down how quickly we get this off-world trading company, but I think meeting them first and getting the influence is always worth it. Plus, we can always rival them if they hate us and get even more influence to allow us to continue to expand. Hey, archaeological project completed over here in Kongath. Now, this isn't this archaeological site. It was actually a anomaly that turned out to be an archaeological dig site that has given me +1 Voltom artifact, which is in fact the precursors that we have encountered. So we now have 1 of 6 artifacts. I'm very curious to see what we can pull up next. I'm going to go ahead and send these guys to excavate the site. There's no researchers in there, and this guy is going to go ahead and build up this system. I'm also going to do something a little bit unorthodox, and because there's so much trade value here, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this system to a starport as well and get working on building this into another trading post. I like the idea of having a lot of trade going on in order to generate a lot of energy credits and potentially even consumer goods if I choose the right policies or edicts. And here we are, we have discovered another alien civilization. Will they be our friends? Will they be our enemies? They sound like a republic, so perhaps they will be friendly with us. They are authoritarian xenophiles, so they actually share quite a couple of things in common with us because we are authoritarian. And it looks like they are out here, so we are going to want to, after we take control of this, rush out this direction in order to block them off from capturing any more of these nodes and force them to go down this way. Looks like our relationship with them is actually pretty decent. I might go ahead and see if we can make friends with them. So how do I go ahead and improve relations with them? So in order to build my trust with these guys, I'm going to go ahead and guarantee their independence. It will cost me some influence per month, but my hope is that getting the relationship up with these guys will have some benefits down the road in the form of having an alliance. And here we have 3 new factions have been founded in my empire. The Committee of Scientific Ascendancy, the Xenotolerance Association, and the Hierarchical Union. Let's go ahead and have a look at those guys and see what they are doing for me. Over here in the factions tab, you can see they're all generating me a very small amount of influence. These guys are pretty upset with me because I don't have the purge policy disabled. So I'm going to go ahead and head into here and see if that conflicts with any of these guys. I think everyone will be reasonably happy. So they would prefer to have an imperial or dictatorial rulership, but that's okay. I think I will go ahead into my policies and plug out purging and prohibit purging. And in terms of refugees, I will say refugees are welcome. And my hope is that that will improve how happy these guys are, so they give me just that little bit more influence that I can use to continue to expand. And it looks like we have discovered our very first alien hostile ships. My science ship warped into here and immediately was under attack by what I can only assume are mining drones. I didn't get a chance to see what they were, but he's currently running his way home through the Great Dark Beyond. And here we have it. We now have off-world trading companies. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my 2 stations and build them up to have the off-world trading company, which will allow these hubs to generate an extra 2 trade value, which will hopefully be sent to my capital. I think there is a way to see the trade route stuff like this. As you can see, there's actually quite a bit of trade value that's being pulled over here. Not a huge amount, but my hope is that over time, the trade value of this planet will increase. And there's also quite a bit of trade value down here, so that's why I'm building one down here as well. Now, in terms of sociology research, I think naval capacity from soldier jobs, or I think we could go for leader pool size. That would give me better choices when I'm trying to select my leader. We also completed the robo-modding thing, but I can't actually do any robo-modding until I have a robotic population, which will be available to me very soon once this population is finished growing. It's actually about 3 months away. So in the meantime, what I'm going to go do is grab the Corvette hull points, which will make my Corvettes that much better in combat. And here we go, we finished building up this trading port as well. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a off-world trading company, but I need to get the trade hubs first, and then I'll go ahead and get the off-world trading company. I'm going to need a few more minerals, although I think I'm pretty fine on alloys and minerals. We've got plenty of minerals. We could even sell some of these off, but right now I'm just stockpiling my economy, just in case I need to make any decisions. And over here in my capital, it is time to finally get our robot assembly plant, which will allow us to start producing robots. And before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys here, but I will be back for another episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this more edited style. Please let me know what your thoughts are. If you'd like to see me do more Let's Plays like this, if you want to know why I'm doing this kind of thing, is basically, there's only so many videos I can release a day, but I have a lot of time to record and edit and upload videos. And so I was going to stream a lot more, but I decided that maybe I would do more edited Let's Plays, which would allow me to get through games quicker and in theory, have shorter videos that have more densely packed with content that is more interesting to watch, that will also allow me to play more games. Because one of the things that I feel really restricted about is I don't want to upload too many videos, and I don't want to upload videos that are too long, because I don't want you guys sitting there all day. I want to try and cut to the chase. And so that's why we're experimenting with this. I want to hear what you guys think. Do you enjoy this kind of edited style where I'm not constantly talking and there's always like moment-to-moment gameplay, you're seeing what's happening, and but I'm still I'm cutting out some of the very small stuff, but I'm basically letting you see like every little milestone as I play. Like, this is about an hour of gameplay, and it's probably going to be cut down to somewhere between 30, maybe 35, maybe 40 minutes, somewhere in that region. So you're essentially getting the same length of video, but you're getting through twice as much content, which will allow me to get through series more often and faster, and allow me to play more games and play more, just do more. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about this. Is this a style you like, or would you prefer to go back to the unedited Let's Play style? Anyway, I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.